Hello, I'm Admiral Bumblebee, and today I'm going to show you a better way to fix the timing of audio recorded performances. Let's start out by giving this drum part a quick listen. It's pretty good. It could be a little bit better. So what most people would do is they would slice it, and then they would quantize the resulting regions or events or clips or items, whatever you want to call them. So in Studio One, which is what I'm using today, you can do this very easily. I have these settings up here, and I just hit apply. And there's the result. The resulting events are split, and then the beginning of the events are quantized. Let's hear how that sounds as it is right now. There's a number of gaps between the quantized events, and as you would expect, it sounds terrible. So the most common way to deal with this is to select all of the items and resize the left edge of the items just so all the gaps are filled up. Once we just about have that perfect, then we hit X to crossfade, and there we go. Let's hear how it sounds. Doesn't sound very good either. So let's go ahead and undo that, and then we'll go back a little bit further. Some DAWs will have a function that will automatically fill the gaps. In Studio One, you can apply this right away when you do the quantize function. So let's listen to what that sounds like. That doesn't sound bad at all. I don't know if you can hear it, but in some of these points you can hear little warbles or blobs. Over here in the fill, there was something that didn't sound very good. But in general, this will be the first thing you want to try. Use your DAW's native fill gaps function. It will give you a good starting point. Another thing you can do in most DAWs is warp quantization. In Studio One, you just hit Q, and what you'll see here is that stretch markers were created at each of the transients, and then those transients and only what's up to the next transient has been stretched. It's a pretty cool technique, but if we zoom in here, we will see that many of these did not work right. Right here, it took the beginning of the kick drum and it moved it back. So if I hit undo, we'll see what happened here. It took this tiny little bit and then quantized it forward, and it ignored the whole kick drum. See, this got moved back, but the kick drum didn't get moved. Let's go ahead and we'll listen to this and see how it sounds. It doesn't sound that great. There's a couple mistakes here that we could correct manually if we wanted to. But generally what you can hear is the transients don't sound that great on the parts where it got stretched. And the inconsistency in the sound is pretty annoying to listen to. So let's back out of this, and then let's try a new method. My method is somewhat of a hybrid method between the two methods. So the first thing I'm going to do is quantize and slice these items. Now I'm going to zoom in to one of the items where there's a gap. And I am going to slice after the transient somewhere. You want to be as close to the transient as possible without affecting it too much. So I'm going to go about here. Now I'm going to take this newly created item and stretch it forward. This way, only the release is stretched and the transient stays pure. Now I will zoom over to another item. I will cut, and then I will stretch. And that's all there is to it. You just keep going along here, find this item, I go as close as I can, and that's it. So let me zoom forward here for you, and then we'll see how it sounds. So I've done some editing here using a combination of my stretch technique along with crossfades. The stretch technique doesn't work on everything, so ideally you will use crossfades where you can and only use the stretches where it is necessary. You can tell which items are stretched by the little gear icon on the bottom of the event. So let's hear how it sounds. It's not bad. There's some things that can be improved, but I literally spent about 30 seconds on this. So let's hop over to Reaper, where we can do this even faster. Here I am in Reaper, and I'm going to do everything I did before, but I'm going to do it really fast. I'm going to split the items, select the items, quantize the items. You can see that I have the gaps. I'm going to use this script, and boom, there we go. That's all there is to it. All of the gaps are now filled because the script intelligently found a split point and then stretched the newly created item to fill the gap. So let's hear how it sounds. As you can hear, there's a couple places where I could possibly make some edits to improve it, but overall it's a great start and I did it super fast. So let me explain how the script works real quick. So we'll take a look at this item here. What the script does is it processes the audio in reverse, and once it reaches that threshold defined at the top, it'll create a split. However, it will try to protect the leftmost of the item, defined in milliseconds, so that your transient doesn't get touched. Once it has that decided, it will create a split and then stretch the newly created item so that it fills the gap. It won't stretch more than the min stretch rate, and it won't process a gap larger than what you set. The crossfade options are pretty obvious. So, let's try it out. As you can see, it searched until it found where the RMS threshold barrier was, and then it put a split there. And from there, it stretched the newly created item to fill the gap all the way up to the next item. Hey guys, thanks for watching. This has been a quick video because I think most people that need this technique will understand it without too much explanation. Check out my Patreon at patreon.com/AdmiralBumblebee. Check out my website at admiralbumblebee.com with the text post companion to this video listed below. And I will see you later. Have a good day. Hit like, hit dislike. I don't care which one you do as long as you hit subscribe. I will see you next week.